Hey guys, what's up? Today we're checking out the latest update on Advanced Server. First up is the adjustment on Lesley. The passive conversion of penetration to crit damage is now higher from 0.5 to now 1%. This should improve her damage output. But that's not all, because physical penetration percentage is now included in the passive conversion. So if you use Malefic Roar, that 30% physical penetration becomes critical damage. However, they had to balance her by removing the critical chance on her ultimate. Yeah, they've removed this part where you get 5% critical chance each time you level up the ultimate. So higher crit damage but lower crit chance. What can our Lesley players say about this adjustment? Next, we have the adjustment on Clint. His ultimate maximum charge is now down to 3 instead of 5. But in exchange, they've shortened its cooldown as well as recharge time. Now, the cooldown is just 1 second on Advanced Server compared to 2 seconds on the official server. This means you can spam the ultimate much easier. As for the recharge time, it's now shorter by 2 seconds in the late game. The slow effect is stronger but the duration is quicker. Another buff is his passive skill where it received a plus 100 base damage. This will give him a better damage output in the early and mid stages of the game. I actually like this Clint adjustment. We get to fully utilize his ultimate in a shorter time span. Before, you'll need around 10 seconds to use all 5 ultimate charges. Next, we have the buff on Natan. His passive stacks will now refresh its duration when you do a basic attack. As you can see, I can maintain the stacks just by doing basic attacks. And it works on all enemies including towers. Just like before, you'll need to use skills to add stacks. That's an easy 45% movement and attack speed as long as you can maintain it. And there's more. They removed the backswing delay on his first and second skills, making his combos much smoother. As you can see, I can follow up quickly with a basic attack after each skill. What can our Natan players say about this? Well deserved or just right? Next is the buff on Jawhead. His first skill cooldown is shortened in the mid and late stages of the game. On the official server, this is a fixed 5 seconds on all levels. I think this is a big one because it can increase your damage output now that the skill is spammable. Next is the nerf on Lolita. They've removed the automatic shield effect. As you can see, I'm not gaining any shield. To activate, you'll need to use a skill. And it even gets worse. The shield duration will only last for 6 seconds. On the official server, it can last for 30 seconds. To balance it out, the shield amount is higher, scaling with 5% max HP and 40% magic power. First skill cooldown is shorter, but her second skill cooldown is longer in the late game. Honestly, I don't know what to expect with this one. Higher shield but no auto activation? Maybe it's time for a full cooldown build. What do you think, Lolita players? Big nerf or well deserved? Next is the buff on Fredrinn. His first skill will now deal higher damage against jungle creeps, from 50 to 100%. And then his third skill cooldown is now shorter, which is huge since it resets his other skills. Looks like the devs are slowly buffing Fredrinn back into the meta. What do you think? Next is the nerf on Cecilion. The developer said as a late game mage, his power spike arrives too early. To fix this, his first skill base damage is now lower in the mid and later stages of the game. Fair enough, right? Next is the nerf on Gatotkaca's attributes. The developer said he has shown overwhelming dominance as both an experienced and roamer hero. To balance, they've lowered his defense attributes, mainly its growth stats. Next is the adjustment on Hanzo. His first skill will have higher heal when used against the Turtle, Lord, and Hero. They are making the skill more flexible instead of just using it on jungle creeps. Next is the revamped Kimmy. This is now what she looks like. I'm loving this new version more. Next is Gord's experimental adjustments. His passive trigger has returned to 5 hits. And his second skill explodes much faster, allowing you to deal damage in a shorter time span. Plus his ultimate gets slightly wider. This looks great for our Gord mains. Next is the item Dominance Eyes. It will now give HP instead of mana. That's 250 HP in exchange of 400 mana. High-loss players won't like it, but the developer said he's already strong, so no compensation this time. The battle spell Inspire is getting some changes. The number of enhanced basic attack is now 6 instead of 8. Plus the unusual basic attacks of heroes like Hanabi will now be counted properly. And the spell will now ignore a portion of the enemy's hybrid defense instead of only physical defense. This makes Inspire viable for magic damage heroes now. Last one is a preview of Lesley's new skin, Duchess of Tides. You can get it for 349 diamonds and there's even a painted version. And that's it for this week's advanced server update. Now, I wanna hear from you. What do you think about the buffs to Natan, Lesley, and Clint? Did they deserve it or not? Let me know in the comments. Stay safe and thank you for watching.